Hey, good day. Welcome to another episode of Freedom on Fire. I am Robert Bob TV Brown. How are you today? Got a crazy article that I read in the Sacramento Bee with Steve Bannon, of all people, disavowing, smearing, talking trash about the Ku Klux Klan and white nationalism and things like that. Of all people, Steve Bannon, the former leader of Breitbart. Steve Bannon, the former leader of Breitbart. So let me read this to you. And this is Sacramento Bee. I don't know why I don't put the links there, but when I say it, you can look it up. But I'll try to leave the link at the bottom. Sacramento Bee is pretty much a decent, but I don't know if Bannon is doing Jedi mind trick, just like Trump when he made that statement against the alt-right. And then he came back with that statement of both sides. Now, let me stop there before I get into this. The statement of both sides was not the shocking statement, because there are, listen to me, there are players on both sides. Not saying that the protesters were at fault, but there are also organizations that will infiltrate the legitimate peaceful protesters to incite violence. So you have the white nationalists, the KKK, the neo-Nazis. I don't know the difference between neo-Nazi, Cleo-Nazi. I don't know the difference between them. Nazis. Alt-right people, or the right, unite the right. You have all these people going to protest. Now, I'm quite sure that there were some who didn't come there with ill intention. They may have been. I'm not a judge and jury, and you're not either. You're not either. I'm not taking up for them, because I know you're going to have some idiots thinking I am. And I'm calling you idiot for thinking that. But let's be truthful. When it comes to protesting, people know that when they're protesting, they're supposed to do it peacefully. They go get a document giving them the right to go out there and protest, giving them the right to assembly, and they know the rules. The rules is to peacefully do it. Now, I don't know if people come in there to break the rules. Like, for an example, on the opposite side, talk about Charlotte for a second. Now, just to let you know, this stuff ain't just started. Please, this stuff ain't just started. This stuff been going on in patches almost probably once a week, once a month, all over the country, but it haven't been magnified since then, because for some reason it is magnified. And I'm going to get to you. I'm going to give you my theory why this particular protest has been magnified, and the leaders that are involved in this protest. Why Charlottesville is all of a sudden a big deal, minus the young lady who got ran over and the people that got injured. That was terrible. But why Charlotte? People have been protesting almost every day, and I'm quite sure people getting altercations during the protests, just about on a consistent basis. And for you who people were looking at Charlottesville and getting nervous and say, oh God, here we go with a race war, I can understand your nervousness. But TV magnify things. You see it in TV, they will pump it up and blow it up. They call it social engineering. Look up the word. There are people with money that want to use real life as a social engineering tool. Not going to go in that. Another story, another videotape. People like George Soros, the Koch brothers, and many other people with money want to social engineer and play around with real people's lives just so they can get a result in a study. They're using me and you like lab rats. They're not going to get in that little container and run around with the drugs in to see if it's going to affect them. They want to use us as puppets. Got to get off that. Don't mean to get on that right now. Where was I? Steve Bannon. Doing a Breitbart. Well, the president brain, so to speak. This is what Steve Bannon said in the Sacramento Bee. All right. It's in the business and real estate section, of course. Steve Bannon calls white nationalists clowns and contradicts Trump on North Korea. Steve Bannon called white nationalists clown. Hold up. Steve, white nationalist, right? I don't know. We only consume. I believe he is. But I can't tell you what I believe don't mean nothing. What you believe don't mean nothing. Is there some documented fact that he's part of the Ku Klux Klan, part of neo-Nazi? No, he's editor-in-chief of Breitbart, which has been an instrumental piece to pump up and lift up the alt-right. Bridgewater, New Jersey. President Donald Trump's chief strategist Steve Bannon says there's no military solution to the threat posed by North Korea and its nuclear ambition, despite the president's recent pledge to answer further aggression with fire and fury, with so much that you've never seen before. That's Donald Trump using his sales pitch to scare Kim Jong-il, whatever his name, Kubla Khan, Jeet Kune Do, I don't know what his name is. Donald Trump is trying to play this guy, trying to use the tough talk, which he is not tough, against Korea. Now, white nationalists eat this up because he's not talking to them. He's talking to them, the North Koreans. So Bannon is supposed to be bucking up against Trump. In an interview with American Prospect posted online Wednesday, Bannon tells the liberal publication that the U.S. is losing the economic race against China. He also talked about purging his rivals from the Defense and State Department. It's amazing. This one man talks about purging people from the Defense and State Department, and he is just an advisor, his chief political strategist. But he's talking about purging his rivals from the Defense and State Department, according to this article. Now, let me go back to the first part of the article. There is no military solution to North Korea. You go and study North Korea. The reason that that young man is standing in that position, he learned that from his father because of what we did to them in the Korean War. Millions slaughtered by the United States. By the United States. I think 6 million, 60 million, I'm not quite sure right now. Let's say 6 to 60 million. Round it off. Of his people got slaughtered by us. So now you expect them to trust the United States? There we go again. Going to other people's country, dominating them, and trying to impose to them our way of living. They don't like him for it's a simple, he's a so-called young dictator, which he's taking over his daddy's seat. Okay. All right. And he's trying to be like daddy. But yet he's conflicting with himself because if you find out about him, he went to school in Switzerland under another name, and he ended up tasting Western culture, and he's trying to implement Western culture there in North Korea. A little bit here and there. Not trying to overdose them. They may not be ready for all of it yet. Oh, there you go. You sound like a fanboy. Just telling the truth. There is no military solution. What are we going to do? Justify what he's been taught ever since a little kid? That America is a terrible, horrible country. They're the evil empire, and we're the good guys, and we got to protect our country. Are we going to poke fun and threaten? This is my problem with politicians. They play with not just your life, but they play with other people's lives. They try to make the decision for us instead of listening to us. And that's where we got to take our power back. No, you got to listen to us. If we're not overwhelmingly in favor of it, you ain't doing it. And we're not overwhelmingly in favor of invading or shutting up Kim Jong-il. He is not. As far as I know, I haven't seen any threats lately to bomb the United States. He probably threatened to bomb some other countries around him, because he's trying to stand in a position of strength. This is one thing I learned recently. For those who had weapons of mass destruction, so-called weapons of mass destruction, I'm not a fan of weapons of mass destruction, and I think every weapon of mass destruction should be disarmed and trashed. But when you're dealing with a government that goes back on their word and say, hey, look, we just want peace. Come on, guy. We just want a peace and build relationships with you, your country, and your countrymen. We just want peace. So let's strike a deal. All right, let's get rid of our weapons. And then we sit there and buy that crap. And as soon as we get rid of the weapon, you do an invasion. Saddam Hussein got rid of weapons of mass destruction. We haven't found the weapons of mass destruction yet. We got rid of them. What we do? We invaded. Lied and say you still have it. We invaded him. Muammar Gaddafi, a man who was isolated because of a Republican dominating narrative to get rid of him. You know what happened with Reagan? He bombed his house, killed his kids, killed his family. He have a right to be bitter and mad at America. Same thing with Kim Jong-il and his father. Legitimate right to be mad. You killed my family, man. We killed Saddam Hussein's family. Now, those guys some bad dudes, I heard. But we didn't bring them to justice. We just killed. And anybody was in the area, we killed. It's the same blueprint. Did that with Gaddafi. Worked with them. Gaddafi worked with the Obama State Department to give intel on ISIS and ISIL because he knew they were trying to invade the country. What we did was we funded them and gave them money to help. Disarmed them. And we went right in there, played like we're going to be his friend, and stabbed him in the back. That man went to the UN and tried to tell everybody, yo, man, they out to get me, y'all. They are out to get me. We ignored them. So that man learned his lesson. He said, look, I talked to these guys. You ain't going to do me like you did them. So, no, I'm not disarming my weapon. I ain't never said I plan on using them, but if you want to come threaten me, I will use them. And I guess he has a right to that. I will defend my country. I'm not going to let you come in here and kill my people, invade my people. I will nuke you if you do. In defense. But you know me. I'm always questioning my government. I love my country, don't get it wrong. But the leaders running this country, sometimes no good guys. Not patriotic. Condescending, dominating. Spreading colonial, white colonialism all across the world. Still trying to dominate other races, other countries. Don't do it in Europe. Haven't heard of invasion in France. Haven't heard of invasion. Nope. Switzerland, none of that. Finland, all that. Nope. Greenland, Iceland, no, none of that. Always the Middle East and North Korea, Canada, maybe Venezuela. Which was next on the list. All right, let me continue. Bannon is also asked about white supremacist movement, whose march on Charlottesville. There we go. See, Charlottesville is synonymous now. These things been happening on a consistent basis. And some people actually got murdered in those situations, but we didn't get the televised version of it. Charlottesville, Virginia last week led to deadly violence. He dismissed them as losers, a fringe element, a collection of clowns. This is Steve Bannon talking about white supremacist movement. He called them losers, fringe element, collection of clowns. Takes one to know one, right? Let me stop. Like I said, I can't judge nobody hard. I haven't seen him say anything bad. I heard him say some things about some Jews on the old video. That's racist. Let me keep reading. The White House did not immediately respond to the request, bear with me, for comment. Talking about Kim Jong-il in North Korea. Bear with me. My for some reason, my internet is real slacky. All right, so here we go. Oh, God. The White House did not immediately respond to a request for a comment. There, no military solution to North Korea nuclear threats. Forget it, Bannon says. Until somebody solves the problem of the equation that shows me that 10 million people in Seoul don't die first 30 minutes from conventional weapons, I don't know what you're talking about. There's no military solution here. They got us. Wow. He admit that in this situation, Korea, North Korea, Trump. North Korea says checkmate. North Korea said swoosh in your face. Touchdown with the dance. And why? Because until somebody solved the part of the equation that shows me that 10 million people in Seoul, Korea, our allies, don't die in the first 30 minutes from conventional weapons, I don't know what you're talking about. There's no military solution here. They got us. You see, the thing is, he got those nukes, and he can destroy Guam. He can destroy Japan, some parts of Japan. He can destroy Seoul, Korea. He's in a position where if we make one move, they get it. You ever seen that in a movie? If you make one move, she's dead. If you make one move, I'm killing us all. That's that situation right there. So he recognized that. Now, as a white nationalist, you don't give a crap. If so, bomb them. And after you bomb them, we going to still come in and bomb you. White nationalism in your face. We surviving, you're dying. That would be an easy ploy for a white nationalist. That would be a win-win situation. Okay, kill more Koreans. We kill you and your people. Korea is gone, off the map. But they're not going to do that. Why? Because Korea has some of the most precious, valuable minerals and resources in the mountains. And they don't want to destroy that going through war. So this, acting like you're taking up for South Korea, I ain't buying it 1 minute, Doc. No, you don't want those areas to get bombed, and you don't want to bomb North Korea because North Korea is loaded, just like any other country we invaded. Trump tweeted earlier Wednesday that North Korea leader Kim Jong-un made a very wise and well-reasoned decision. There you go, Trump trying to act like Kim Jong-un bowed to his demand. Such a dork. Trump tweeted earlier that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un made a very wise and well-reasoned decision by backing down after heightened fears of nuclear conflict and a series of combative threats, including against the U.S. territorial Guam. Right. He was scared. He backed down. No, you backed down because you know you didn't have no move. He had you. He got you. Bannon also outlined his push for the U.S. to adopt a tougher stance on China trade without waiting to see whether Beijing will help restrain Kim. Now, I kind of agree with that. As Trump has pressed China's leader to do, Trump also has lamented U.S. trade deficits with China. Okay, good thing. The economic war in China, with China, is everything, Bannon says. And we have to be maniacally focused on that. If we continue to lose it, we're 5 years away, I think 10 years at most, of hitting an inflection point from which we'll never be able to recover. Bannon was the key general election campaign advisor and has been a forceful but contentious presence in the divided White House, the former leader of the conservative Breitbart News, Bannon, has drawn fire from some of Trump's closest advisors. They didn't like him, y'all, including his son-in-law, Jared Kushner. The president is under a renewed pressure to fire Bannon, who has survived early rounds of having fallen out of favor with Trump. Earlier this week, the president passed up the opportunity to offer free public vote of confidence in Bannon. Trump said, hey, he's a good person and he's not a racist. Added that, we'll see what happened with Mr. Bannon. The last anti-Bannon campaign comes as Trump faces mounting criticism for insisting that white supremacist group and those who opposed them were both at fault for daily violence last week in Charlotte. And I'm going to talk about that in a moment. In the interview, Bannon mused about getting rid of administration officials who disagree with strategy toward China, North Korea, and replacing them with the Hawks. We got to do this. The president's default position is to do it. But the apparatus is going to be crazy, Bannon said. Don't get me wrong. It's like every day. Bear with me. My internet again. All right, so that's it on this article. All right, so basically, he's trying to show himself to be dominant against white supremacists and white nationalists. Show himself strong, talk hard, bold. Did he make that phone call and say, look, y'all, guys, I'm going to hit you hard, but I'm just joking? I don't know. I can only assume. He's a racist based on the simple fact of things that happened from the start that he got in this campaign and the things that happened from Donald Trump started coming into this campaign. Looks like a racist to me. But I don't judge people hard, and and tell you the truth, I don't care. As long as you don't activate your racist agenda in Washington, D.C., I can't control your personal belief, but you got to put that to the side when it comes to the country. So, look, we've all worked with people that's racist. We've probably been in the car with people that's racist. We probably ate with people that are racist. We probably worked out next to a racist. We surrounded by racist people. Racism is an ideology that the only way it's going to go out, or the only way we can starve it away, is to re-educate the racists. To let them see other cultures' view of things. And get them to think that and push them away from this white supremacy thinking. Beating them in the head, Antifa is not going to rid the world of racism. That is what Trump was talking about. What about the alt-left? Assuming that Antifa was part of the alt-left when it comes to Democrats. Or those who have infiltrated Black Lives Matters. And saying Black Lives Matter when they go around killing cops and things like that. That's not Black Lives Matter agenda. That's somebody who infiltrated Black Lives Matter, killing people and hollering Black Lives Matter, the slogan, and everybody assumed that just because they holler Black Lives Matter, they're part of Black Lives Matter. That's no different from somebody killing somebody and say, KKK. Oh, you never signed up for the KKK? You never went to a KK rally? You just hollering KKK because you did something in the name of Ku Klux Klanism. That don't make you a bona fide member. I can holler AARP if I don't sign up and participate. I'm not in the AARP. So people don't get it twisted. I'm not a fan of white supremacy. I don't like white domination. I don't like black domination. I don't like culture thinking they can dominate another culture and they're supreme and they're the best. I don't like that. But I do want you to understand that everybody that's hollering this is not this all the time. They just hollering trying to make it seem like the black power. So you rob a bank and say black power. Do that mean you're part of the new Black Panthers? No, because the original Panthers were social justice warriors, and they came up with programs like the WIC program and things like that. They fed the homeless. But yet there's probably factions within that's talking about that decided to do harmful, evil stuff. So come on, just because somebody hired Dylan, the boy that was in South Carolina and came in the church and killed those people, he was a bit more part of white supremacy now. He probably studied some books, went online, got indoctrinated and did something stupid and go in hell holler white power. Dude, you ain't part of Jack. You're playing the part and you're playing pretty good. You're trying to impress the KKK. Bottom line, KKK, neo-Nazism, anything that promotes on both sides, like Trump said, because there's a side on the blacks, there's a supremacist teaching in black nationalism. And some of it will tell you that they're better than whites or any other color. And some of it, if you let it have it reign like it does in other countries, will try to dominate other people. Back to Bannon. Bannon said, no, Korea called our bluff. Trump said, no, believe me, they didn't call our bluff. We called their bluff. They're not going to do nothing. We got them by the balls. We got them by the kimonos, believe me. No, Kim got us behind the balls, because if we're going to talk about dominating them, millions going to get killed within an hour if you do something stupid like that. He knows it. You knows it. So stop acting like you won and take your loss like a man, Donald Trump. And Steve Bannon, it's hard to believe that you're disavowing, because most of us believe you're a racist. Now, if you want to prove us wrong by passing legislation and talking Trump into doing things that's going to help all people, especially blacks, minorities, Latinos, especially blacks, minority, Latinos, then prove to us that you're not a racist. It's sad when your president and his staff have to prove that they're not white nationalists, they're not supporters, and they're scumbag clowns. But do it. I invite you to do it. Prove to us, instead of talking, prove to us that you're not a racist, Steve Bannon. And Trump, instead of talking trash, take your loss at a man, Kim Jong-un, whoop your behind when it comes to the nuclear debate. And I'm glad, because we don't need to be bothering those people. I'm Robert Brown, Bob TV. Peace.
Hey, this is your boy Bob TV with Freedom on Fire and Rob Report. I want to thank you for watching the webcast. Make sure you share these segments all across your social media network. Like and share, subscribe, and maybe invite a couple other people to do the same thing. You make the difference. I also want to thank you for those who support this channel through Patreon, whether it's 50 cents to $50 million. It goes right back into what we do here. So like the lights that you're looking at right now, that's because of something that you did. So I really appreciate it. I want to thank my man Vegimatic for the Blue Yeti mic, one of the top microphones out right now. He knew I needed the mic, so he blessed me with it. So all of you guys make the difference into this channel growing, and I really want to appreciate you for that. Also, by all means, again, continue to share your comments at the bottom of each video. Just don't get so visceral to the people who may disagree with me or may disagree with you. This calling out name stuff, that's not for this channel. So please try not to call people names, personal names. Now you can call some of the stuff they talk about crap. I say that, but just don't attack people personally. Words really hurt when you start attacking people personally, because these people really believe these things, and you're not gonna take away their belief by calling them names. So please don't do that on this channel. But nevertheless, I appreciate you guys. We're shooting for 2,000 now, so I need your help. So as my pastor would say, reach one, teach one. I mean, let's reach out. You got the information. Make sure you share with other people and try to get them to subscribe to the channel so we can grow and expand. I'm Bob TV. Freedom on Fire. Rob Report. Peace.